How's it going, Reef Keepers? Hope everybody's doing good today. I posted a video yesterday about stability in my tank while I was in a state of excited exuberance over the fact that my tank looked better than it had in a couple of weeks, and really, maybe ever, because I've had some decent growth on some of my smaller frags lately. And I just want to talk about, I guess, the effect of getting overly excited or making a change and then seeing a result a couple days later and ascribing the success to that thing that you just changed, right? This is a common fallacy within the understanding of cause and effect in the reef keeping hobby, and a few smarter, more experienced people pointed out to me, rightfully so, that whatever goes on in your tank, I mean, it's possible, if it's a severe enough change, that you will see that change take shape, quickly. But it takes a lot, especially in a larger system, to see the impact, whether it's positive or negative, of a change, quickly. I mean, it takes a lot to see a quick change. It usually is that a positive or negative impact occurs over the course of weeks, slowly, until things have panned out and they're in a stable position with whatever was changed, and then suddenly things start going better or worse, right? And that's totally true, completely true. And the fallacy that I fell into was, I have made changes lately, right? I have stopped amino acids. I recently changed the temperature on my tank a little bit. I did the kalkwasser adjustment. I did the adjustment to the scheduling of my 2-part alkalinity dosing. There are multiple factors that could have contributed to what's going on in the tank. Oh, I changed salinity a little bit too. So any one of these factors could be right now resulting in the tank looking better than usual, or any number of these factors that I have tweaked a little bit lately could, in 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, whatever weeks, it could start degrading the tank even, right? The tank could get better or worse down the line because of the decisions that I'm making now, or that I have made in the last few weeks. There's a lot that's yet to be seen based on the little tweaks that I have made. So me getting super excited and jumping to the conclusion that, oh, my tank looks good today, so what I changed here in the last week or two must be the effect of me, creating this cause, right? The effect really has yet to be seen, and it's a fallacy to think, oh, what I just did now resulted tomorrow in this amazing result. It happens all the time in reef keeping, right? Especially because there's a lot at stake in reef keeping. I mean, everything's very expensive. We spend a lot of time and effort investing our hearts, our minds, our wallets in our tank. And so when we make a decision, we really, really, really want, and sometimes, heck, we even need that decision to pan out. And there's this false weight that is, given willingly to a good result, often undeservedly so, based on whatever decision that we previously made, right? So it's very hard to say whether or not me making this, concerted effort to kind of level out my elk swings and kind of contract my peak and my trough of my pH swings. It's hard to say right now whether that's exactly what it was, or if maybe killing amino acid dosing is helping, or whether salinity shifting is helping, or whether whatever. So you guys know me. I'm not above come to you with my hat in my hand and saying, hey, I was a bonehead, and that was kind of a bonehead video. So I apologize for that. I was extremely excited. And sometimes in reef keeping, like I said, all the heart and effort you put into it, the excitement gets the better of you and overrides your reason temporarily. I even switched the title of that video to kind of cool that video down a little bit, because I don't want people hopping in there thinking, oh, I absolutely need to do this, right? I don't want anybody thinking that. There's a ton of different ways to skin this cat, and a ton of people who have success not focusing so hard on stability, right? I think there is some good cause, or some good results from individuals that I have talked to about not going overboard to smooth out your elk swings, or really any element swing, and to kind of lessen your pH swings. And I'm interested in it, and I'm seeking not to make them a flat line or anything, but just to reduce the swings a little bit, and just kind of encourage a general, more stability in general, right? I am interested in that. I'm not going to sit here and say that's what did this, right? That was kind of a foolish reactionary moment. But I am going to keep an eye on it. And after all the little things that I have been slightly tweaking lately have panned out for several weeks, and I see what the impact on the tank is, because this is a pretty mature system. This is a pretty mature, until I made these slight tweaks, relatively stable system, right? It's not mature, but I'm at that point where it's like the tank is in a good groove. It's in a good, I can tell that the tank is pretty well settled. So in the wake of these little tweaks that I have made, after a long period of just having things exactly the same before I did anything to the overall methodology, I'm going to keep an eye on it, and I'll report back to you guys with all of those factors considered, and tell you, hey, I'm seeing prolonged, better appearance of the corals, better growth of the corals, better this, better that, or heck, things are not trending in the right direction, right? It looks great at first, but 6 weeks out, things are starting to close up. I'm not seeing as much growth. I'll shoot you straight on what happens, as a result of this series of slight tweaks that I've made. But really, the purpose of this video is just to say, this hobby is there's a lot at stake in this hobby, and there are so many fallacies that you can fall into that are presented to you by others who pull you into their fallacy, or that you just create for yourself and you fall down the rabbit hole of fallacy because you're too excited, or because you're depressed because something went wrong and your perception's colored, right? So the psychological aspect of reef keeping, I think, is probably not talked about quite enough. It's a significant one. So my overarching message would be cognizant and self-reflective and humble about the fact that you're a human and you're subject to the impacts of human emotion on a day-to-day, minute-to-minute level, in conjunction with the hobby, right? So I've been there more times than I can count, and I'm sure I got more ahead of me, but the frequency rate is dropping as I gain experience and appreciation for the broader perspective and the longer timeline of what it is to be a reef keeper. So, if you find yourself falling into that cycle more, quite a bit, there is light at the end of the tunnel. But hope you guys are having a great week. Thanks for listening.